Even with all the buildings along the Las Vegas Strip and all the action here, this is one of the city's biggest attractions. Allegiant Stadium opened back in 2020.
Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
Room here to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Right back to Dobbins on first.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
No doubt about it. Really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA!
J.K. Dobbins. His second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are on the board first here in Vegas.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Chargers 7, Raiders 0. Set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
Up to the 20.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
On play action, it's Brady.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Throwing is Brady on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. A throw left side to start the drive is complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Dobbins trying the left side.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Now it's Herbert.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Herbert. He completes it to Boyd. Touchdown, Chargers. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Chargers lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
14, Raiders nothing. Youngway Koo set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now Brady passes forward on the jet sweep. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 12, Brady. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Scotty Miller from 19 yards away.
And the Raiders have got it back to within a score.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going.
Early on, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins.
And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And that's not easily done, because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
A handoff running left is Dobbins. He's got it to the 43 here.
Well, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Herbert.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And the Raiders are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw there complete to Allen. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Chargers 14, Raiders 7.
Looking to throw again on second down. Brady. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. To throw is Brady. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
110 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
Dobbins fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run with Dobbins.
And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns.
Koo able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-7.
Chargers 21, Raiders 7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose, trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick.
And the Raiders are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And Brady going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Herbert now.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds Douglas complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
The Raiders had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Now, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but if you look at the great linebackers in history, they all have that ability to innately sense where a play is going, sometimes even before the ball snapped, and they're there and end up making the play.
Throwing again on second down. Brady. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. That throw by Brady incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And he'll be brought down with the first down after a gain of about 11 as that takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Here we go,
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season.
Herbert.
Got his man. It's Williams. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here. Let's go now.
And they'll send Williams in motion right.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And he's got room. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. J.K. Dobbins on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns.
Now, the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
And they'll accept that penalty.
Set to kick off.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Brady now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Davis. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
First and 10 at the 38.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. Now Brady. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On second down, Jacobs. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's first and 10 just outside the 30. Now Brady. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Keenan Allen, 31 yards. And the Raiders get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On second and 9, Herbert. He finds his man, complete. It's Bird. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it first and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On first down, it's Herbert. Targeting Dobbins again, and he's got it again. Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, with not much time, we'll see how they play this. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The final shot before half for Brady. Going deep this time for Miller. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Well, CD, that helps the home team as they try to erase this deficit. Give them the penalty for pass interference on the defense.
Yeah, and they certainly haven't been happy with what they've seen so far, have they? They're certainly hoping that that call now might get the fans back into this one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Brady.
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
And that is caught at the 10-yard line.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
Again, they've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. In motion, left goes Boyd.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. This is caught. It's Boyd.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A give up the middle to Dobbins.
And some room to work. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 178 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
They'll go again with Dobbins.
And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. They'll try the left side with Spiller.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They go jet sweep here with Williams. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Koo knocks this one through the post. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The throw on 2nd down by Brady is incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. 1 more good rep, and they get off the field.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Brady going to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's A.J. Cole now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Going an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
In motion left goes Boyd.
They'll try and run for it with Spiller.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Looking back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brady. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they run this well upfield across the 45.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On 1st down, Brady. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Brady. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The Raiders on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Their own 25-yard line.
Now Brady to try again after the pick six. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On play action. Now Brady. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in it. That's being tested right here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. This is taken at the 15. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To throw again on 2nd down, Brady. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 16.
Hands this to Spiller to start things.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
1st and 10 is Spiller. And not a whole lot there, maybe a yard to the 27.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27. On 2nd down, Spiller looking for space. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Here's Herbert. Man open left side. It's Williams. And some space here. And out across midfield down to the 45.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. The tight end in motion right.
Right back to Spiller on 2nd down.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Dobbins trying the left side.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. The Chargers trot out their dime package, expecting a throw on 3rd down. Brady now to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now Brady got to have this one. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Herbert to a knee, and that should just about write it into this one.
Good bounce back win. They take the knee. Can't stop the clock defensively. Tough opening week loss, but now 1-1.
Shows that they handled things really well. A lot of teams panic after a week 1 loss, and they start to think that the sky's falling. This team realizes there's a long season, and they feel very talented, and they get it done in this one.
So this one's over. It's in the win column for the L.A. Chargers. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really a stellar performance.
So for the Chargers, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Meanwhile, for Las Vegas,
they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.